Acting, acting for me, acting is my conduit. I believe that I'm a people person. So through this gift that God has given me, I'm able to use acting as a way to reach people, to touch people, whether it's inspire, motivate, just make you want to make some decisions in your life that could change the course of your life. How do you touch other people? How do you reach other people? I was inspired a lot by that growing up. My mom, she took me to Broadway plays, and my father took me. Used to watch a lot of films, and so I grew up being inspired by how people were able to tell stories, how people were able to literally touch lives by telling someone's story, by being open, by being vulnerable, talking about things and expressing, moments in people's lives that some people don't even want to, talk or touch. Sensitive moments, social aspects of things. That's what it's about to me. And so for me, acting is a conduit. It's a way to really, really, really reach out and touch people and be effective in doing so. Acting means life. Acting is energy. And because to me, acting is energy, it's a transference of emotions. Just the way you and I are speaking and interacting right now. We're not acting, but this is life. And when we're telling stories through acting, through whether it's television or theater, we're able to explore that. We're able to explore human emotions. We're able to, again, just be vulnerable. We're able to live. I don't think there's a person alive that doesn't live through the arts, that doesn't live through telling a story. And even in something that's science fiction, it's something about it that inspires us to want to do more, be great. What would it be what is it to fly? What is it to tell the story of freedom? What is it to tell the story of suppression, oppression, depression? So it's energy. It's everything that we are, and it's everything that we're not. And I love the way that, to me, acting allows people to experience one another. Yeah. That's what acting is to me. Acting is energy.
Acting is my mirror. It's always highlighted my strengths, my weaknesses, but I didn't become aware of that until I was an undergrad. And a professor sat me down for an assessment, and he said, "Taylor, your acting is good, but it's like a shotgun. I need you to be a rifle." And at the time, I didn't know anything about guns, so I was like, okay, get to it, And he said, "You always get the kill, but it's a little sloppy, and I need you to be laser-like. I need you to be focused. I need you to be intentional, like a rifle." And so I said, okay, well, tell me what I gotta do, because I'm competitive. So I'm willing to do the work, I'm willing to work on myself. And he said, "You lack vulnerability." And I said, wait a minute, first of all, what does that mean? And so with that word, it sent me down the rabbit hole, and I started, at 19 years old, I started with the first relationship I knew was right next to me, so guys. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm really not that present when it comes to romantic relationships, right? But that was only the tip of the iceberg, and then it led me down a path to my family. And so it was great because the more I learned about myself, I was able to learn about the world around me, other people, and in turn, that gave me a richer understanding of my characters. And I was finally able to bring layers and depth to the people that I am embodying. And so with that, I always tell people, don't run from what you see in the mirror. The things that we are ashamed of or the things that we hide 9 times out of 10, that's what makes a role great. That's what makes you relatable. Nobody's perfect. And I chased perfectionism for so long until realizing, like, just show up, just be present. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to be present. And so I appreciate the reflection. I appreciate what I've seen in the mirror and what acting has provided for me. So acting is my mirror. Before, it was about the end goal. It was about booking. It was about being the best in the classroom. That's where I started out. I started my training on the stage. And now it's about the art. Now it's about connecting. So now when I approach a scene, I'm a better listener because I'm actually listening to people in real life. You know, I'm not waiting to say what I have to say. So I think I'm a more compassionate person, much more open, and I'm willing to embrace things that I don't love about myself. And I'm willing to share those things with other people. And I think that gets lost. A lot of times we want to make it to a certain point and make it look beautiful, but we forget those steps, we forget the struggles, and that's the missing link. So I'm willing to open up and put myself out there if it means that someone else can better understand themselves or the story. It's important for me to engage with like-minded individuals because when you have a certain place you want to be in terms of acting, right? This can be a rewarding path personally, but we all know as we're climbing to reach certain goals, it can be very discouraging. But if you're surrounded with people who have that same goal in mind, but also have the same discipline, the vision, we encourage each other, we bounce off each other, and it's important that you're feeding your spirit and your mind uplifting energy, you know, whether that's with the conversations that you're having, the music or podcast that you're listening to. It's important that you are constantly reinforcing that, yes, this is a path, it's a relationship, and I'm not always gonna love it. I'm not gonna always love every step of the way, but I'm not giving up, you know? And if you have the right people around you and in your ear, it makes the journey way more enjoyable. Yeah, way more enjoyable. Yes and no. My family has always been supportive of what I've done, no matter what the interest has been, but there's only a certain level of understanding that they have. So when I started professionally training back in 2012, my circle, we were on each other. You know, it's like we get out of class and now we're going over lines, we're rehearsing, we're constantly, hey, you need to eat, you need to take a break, you need to stay hydrated, we're going to 7 a.m. yoga, wake up. So I've always kept people around me that kept me focused. And I'm someone that I took a break. 2015, when I graduated from university, I got my bachelor's in acting. When I graduated, I was like, you know what, that's it. I don't want to have anything to do with it because I was so discouraged and I felt that acting owed me something. You know, I was like, I put in all these hours, I put in all this sweat, these tears, like when is it gonna happen for me? And I didn't know anything about myself. So for me, that break was necessary because it sent me down this whole spiritual journey and I fell in love. I found things that I could not stand about myself, you know? And it led me to other passions, other arts. They all bring me back to acting. I'm willing to give to acting, but I don't think I owe anything to acting. I think I owe it to myself to show up, to be present in everything that I do. And today that's acting, tomorrow that'll be acting. And that's what I'm here to do. Alia, you're brilliant. Keep writing, keep dancing, keep dreaming. You don't sound like everyone else. You don't look like anyone else, but you're beautiful. You're powerful. And you're hilarious, so embrace that. And it's okay to change your mind. Absolutely, because I think that growing up, we were always told you have to be the best, you can't get out of line. And I think that robs us a lot in childhood because we take on the role of the mother and we don't even know, we're not even in training bras yet, but we always have to be sharp. We always have to be perfect. And I think it's important to tell stories that are full of life. I think it's important to tell stories where we mess up, we ignore our intuition. We turn that off and we have a ball, and wherever that lands us, it lands us. But if we're in the right place and if we have the right people around us, we'll figure out how to come home.
Acting is my second chance, meaning that you get opportunities every day to be who you want to be. And me growing up, I was kind of afraid to be Tina. I didn't know who Tina was. I was afraid to show my personality and be truthful in my own skin. So acting just gave me a chance to switch it up. And if I was a shy person, it gave me a chance to be loud and ratchet if I wanted to. It gave me a chance to be a little bit exotic. It gave me a chance to just switch it up and decide who I wanted to be at the moment in time when I wanted to be it. I feel like acting has helped me grow into who I am now because it gave me a chance to flip-flop and try different things. It gave me a chance to navigate life through different perspectives and really just see what I was comfortable with and who I was really wanting to be in the inside versus who I was trying to fake to be. What felt real, what felt like I was acting. That everything, I would want a 5-year-old Tina, let me rewind that. If 5-year-old Tina was looking at me act right now, I would want her to take away knowing that stories aren't just stories, that they're real life, that they're experiences, and that when I'm acting, I'm living in a truth. It might not be my truth at the time, but it could be Deborah's truth or OC's truth, So it's a truth within the story, and it's real. There was a time I was in a play and I had to the character I was playing dealt with, body shaming and wanting to get her body fixed, pretty much. And it helped me in a sense because back then I was kind of dealing with those type of situations, being that I was really, really slim. But it also helped somebody else because they looked at it like, I might not be a slim waist, perfect little 8-figure person, but as long as I look in the mirror and I love myself, then God is good, everything is good. And somebody's gonna love me because I love it myself, if that makes sense. So that was one of the first plays that I did that made me say, okay, maybe acting is something that I could do that will help somebody else realize something. And just to trickle back, another example is I played alongside somebody who was dealing with a parent dealing with breast cancer and losing somebody. And just being able to dive into those emotions, not having a parent back then that had passed away, but dealing with something that traumatic and being able to tackle into those emotions and letting the person that's watching it that has gone through those emotions know that they're not alone is something that I really connect with when it comes to acting and just in general film, is that you can make somebody feel like they're not by themselves when it comes to a situation. Acting allows me to live in the moment, live in a truth that may not be particularly my truth, but allows me to be the truth for you or for Therese or Tony, whoever's truth at that moment, which is why I don't know, I was about to say the second mouse. Rewind again in blueprint number 45. Acting allows me to living a truth that may not be particularly my truth, but opens the doors for others to live in a truth within me. It may be Teresa's truth, it may be your truth, but it allows me to have a second chance, which is why acting is a second chance. Acting allows me to live in a truth. It may not be my truth, but it could be yours, or it could be your mother's, or it could be my mother's, which is why acting.
I'm just really enjoying this process, and I'm ready to show everybody in season 2 all the actors that we have and all their stories that they shared. Season 1, I'm grateful for season 1 because season 1 allowed me that platform, because a lot of times we wait for people to give us a platform to share our stories. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to create that. I love this. Like, I really do love it. And I just wanted to capture everything, and I wanted to get people's stories out. Because a lot of times we see actors on the screen and they're portraying their characters so well that the audience may believe that that's them. So I wanted this to be an extension to show the audience an actor that is unzipping